Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Appreciate you stopping by. Today, we're going to do a little tractor work. We got a land plane we're going to try out. We're going to fill up all the equipment, load up the diesel tank, go fill up the tank, and little electrical job, and we'll see what else we can get into. So we got all the machines full. We got the diesel tank loaded up on the back of the Toyota there. We're gonna go top it off after a while. But I think what we're gonna get at today is I'm gonna grab the John Deere right here and head over to my father-in-law's place. He's right down the road, and he brought a land plane home, and we're gonna hook it up and drag it down the driveway and see how it does. We got the land plane all hooked up to the back of the John Deere here. So let's take a little closer look before we get to using it. We got a Paris Tractor land plane here, 2 cutting edges, dragging over to the left-hand side. It's got Kubota and Land Pride on the side and Paris Tractor here on the sticker. I'm not sure exactly who made this, but pretty decent looking implement here. Nice thick steel. Might measure that up. Look like replaceable, 2 replaceable cutting edges. So we got her hooked up to the old 5103. We got this real long driveway of mine here. It's about 1,200 yards total. A little bit of snow still on the ground down here in South Alabama, if you can believe that or not. Snow on the ground. So we might not be able to hit every spot, but we'll drag it on these spots that are a little bit drier and see how she does. So the old Paris Tractor land plane did really well. I went up and down it, you know, maybe 2 or 3 times. I'm not trying to get this perfect. It's just a couple ripples were forming and, you know, a few potholes here and there, some washes. So this whole driveway used to look like this. I mean, just this thick southern underbrush, trees all through it. When I bought this property, it did not have a driveway. So I purchased this piece and came from all the way down. That tree line down there is the start of my property. So I had to clear from down there all the way down to the road where in front of those houses down there. This was about 600 yards, I think just over. So I've been driving on it for about a year, just dirt. And so all these tree stump holes and stuff like that, it finally kind of, I think they've all shown themselves, and I've fixed on them here and there. But this is just kind of slick it out for the time being. I do plan on putting rocks all down, all the way to my barn eventually. So that's gonna be that's probably gonna have to be a series there. But that's the plan. I think it's a fantastic tool. It is, I can definitely tell it'd be a lot easier for somebody to start out with instead of a box blade. I think you can do more with a box blade. I think where this thing shines is clean, dry dirt, or slightly moist, not as wet as it is out here today. Gravel, I think gravel would be fantastic. I might have to get my father-in-law to let me borrow this thing again after we get the rocks on this driveway. I think it'd be fantastic for that. Initially get them down and drive on it for a couple of weeks, let all the low spots and stuff show, then come back with this and really slick it up. Anyhow, I really like it. I'm glad he let me use it. I think I'm gonna use it again. I would recommend it. As you can see up here on top of a little homemade tractor man basket, I've done pulled out probably 2 squirrels' nests worth of sticks and leaves and little pieces of insulation and junk. These squirrels will get up here in the top of my barn. There's a little bit of a cubby hole right here where this little storage room is at, and they just love building nests right up in these crevices. I know it's squirrels. I've caught them in here every now and then. I'll see them. I'll pull up and they'll be running down these rafters, running back to the woods. We're gonna have to do something about that. So another little project that I'm gonna take care of, hopefully soon. We'll see about that. But this barn, there's 0 lights. I have one little light up mounted on a post, like a little floodlight, and that is it under this whole barn. So I'd like to run me some bay lights down this middle, and then I poured a little, what's basically gonna be my carport for the time being. Maybe eventually get some lights under there too, but for now, this big main double wide bay where I have all the equipment parked, I'd like to get me maybe 8 lights running down it so we can keep working after dark. So first step towards that is I'm gonna try and get us a open breaker here that we can run our wires off of to all those lights, and maybe drop an outlet or 2 over there on the carport too, so I can plug something up over that way. So the fella that had this place before me, I'm the last person that needs to be working on electrical stuff, but man, he couldn't have been much further in front of me, because he's got all kinds of crazy stuff going on. So what we got here, I see 2 hots running down to this one outlet. I don't quite understand that. I don't think that's necessary. And we have another wire pulling off this same single 20 amp breaker here, running to who knows where. I think this one is going in my building right here, or it could be running to my little shop portion on the other side. This building is kind of split. This, where we have these 2 rooms built on, I've kind of got a storage area over there, maybe workshop one day, And then this tin side part over here is my actual kind of shop, workshop area, concrete floor. Keep all my tools and stuff in there. But I think what we're gonna do is I'm gonna try and figure out exactly why there's 2 wires running to a single outlet. I don't think that's quite necessary. So maybe we can get some room right there. So as I said, I'm probably the last person that needs to be working on electrical stuff. I know next to nothing about it, but any man with a screwdriver that electrocutes himself enough times, you'll figure it out. So we'll kill a couple of these. Might as well do that one too. I have no idea where any of this really goes. I just turn them all on and everything works. Apologize for the plane overhead. Let's put a meter on this first. We got our meter turned to the voltage here, the alternating flavor. Let's see, what do we got? Let's see, let's plug this. Where's our grounding bar? There it is. Let's see. 4 volts. I guess that's dead. Yep, showing 4 down here. That's probably good enough. Let's check all these while we're here. Nothing. 5 volts. 0.8 volts. That's probably good. Oh yeah, 120. The box is hot. She's hot. So I'm just gonna pull this outlet out of here. See why exactly we have 2 hot wires. All right, let's see what's going on here. Yeah, okay. As I expected, nothing. Just runs right back up to 2 different breakers. That's unnecessary. Okay. We'll shave off half these wires and clean up this box a little bit. Pulled 1 set of these extra wires, a hot and a neutral, 2 sets of each running to this single outlet here. So, let's see. Let's see. Nothing's on fire yet. 25. I think I figured out why there was 2 sets of wires running to this outlet right here. So apparently what I did was I turned my meter to continuity, tested between both plugs, and there is no continuity. So powering one post on this outlet does not equate to power on the other, I guess the top outlet. Say you got power on the bottom, that doesn't mean the top's powered. So I have a couple of these just stashed away. A new outlet, a modern outlet. I bought this probably, I don't know, a couple months ago when I redid the wiring in this building right here. So you check both hot sides of a modern outlet and there is continuity. So that means if you were to put power on one of these posts, just 2 wires, well, 3 wires, ground, hot, and a neutral, on one outlet, that also gives power to the other one. So I'm just going ahead and swap this outlet out so we can get some of these wires out of here and make a little room. Oh, I hate electricity. But I'm too cheap to pay somebody to do it, so got to learn how to be good enough for handle your own business. Golly. Missed. Let's get this new one in. Well, let's pull these old wires out first. Good jumper. Save on that. Let's see. I just know I'm gonna get electrocuted one day. Again. Another jumper. Okay, we cleaned this up quite a bit. Made us a little room. Here's our spare breaker. Single post, we'll save that for our light project. All right, let's scoot these over. Actually, let's put them this way. And I have a double post 20 amp. That I will put in its place. And here that is, 2 post 20 amp. This is just one I had. No need to go buy another one. Why there's 2 here, I guess you could hook up one breaker, run 220 on 20 amps. I don't know exactly what you could do with 20 amps. Maybe a small weld machine. I don't know. I got a 50 amp on my weld machine, so maybe 20 would be enough if you were just welding small stuff. Maybe a little MIG welder. Okay, let's see. This baby will slide right in here. Whoa. Could have been bad. Okay. Let's check on this. See if we got some power. Well, gotta be on first. Oh yeah, 120. 120. Perfect. So I think these 2 wires that I'm putting on this 2 post breaker here, I think both of these comes in 2 pieces of conduit. I think they both go to my workshop area. I don't know, man. This guy wires stuff crazy. I'm just kind of working with what I got. It's not bad enough that I want to redo the whole thing. So I guess I can't complain too much. Let's hook our outlet back up. So, like I said, I don't know much about house wiring, shop wiring, electricity in general, but a little bit that I do know is, see this gold side here? These 2 posts are colored gold. These 2 are silver. I'm almost sure gold side, hot. Silver side, neutral, and then your ground. Could that be backwards? Possibly. Does it really matter if you hook one up vice versa? No, I've done both. Another neat little thing with these outlets, if you want to bend your wires to make it around the post, a nice little curl to go around the post, you can use these little holes, slip your wire through the hole, give it a little twist. Kind of use it like a tool. Okay, So we got our new outlet in there. Let's test on this a little bit. No fires. We're doing great. Okay, so I hooked the hot and neutral up to the top post, 120. See if my theory is correct. 120 on both. Perfect. So we got rid of some wires, cleaned it up a little bit. This is just as good. I mean, we're not pulling a bunch of load on a 120 plug, so that'll be fine. And now we have us a spare 20 amp breaker, just completely not being used right now, and we can drop another line and run up to power our lights when we get ready to do that job. So would you believe it? I even have an outlet cover with the screw. Stuff never works out like this. Didn't have to buy a thing. Well, today anyways. Okay. There we go. All ready to go. And we got a spare breaker for the next project. Nice. This whole place is a work in progress. So little thing I'd like to get done today, maybe if you can see right there, water tends to hold right there a little bit when it rains. The rest of it runs really good. And it seeps in the ground fast, but it does tend to create a little bit of a mud spot right there. And then right in between my trailer and the pump shed right there, it's real bumpy and rough. There was some old dead trees there, stumps, and I've dug those up since. And there's little holes and pools water there when it rains too. So I got the box blade here hooked onto the back of the John Deere. So we might scratch around, try and slick this out a little bit. There's a little hump right here in front of that tree. So I might grab some of that dirt and pull it out into this little low spot here. It's right in front of my barn where I got my carport poured at. So you can't help but just pull right through the mud and drag it up in there. One day this is all gonna be rocks, hopefully sooner rather than later. But for the time being, we'll just try and clean up on it a little bit. So I pulled that dirt off that high spot and brought it down to the low spot. Over there by the trailer, I'm gonna have to bring in a little bit of dirt to really fix that up the way it should be. There's not enough dirt to pull around to bring all them low spots up. I slicked it up a little bit, filled in a couple of the holes, but I'm gonna have to bring in a little dirt over there. I got the land plane hooked back up. I wanna give it a fair shake, so I didn't really slick it up real nice out here with the box blade. I'm gonna drop this, drag it around, and see how it does. got this all cleaned up, slicked out, drug that dirt down there. I think that looks a lot better. Hopefully it keeps the water out. I think it will. Knock that high spot down. So while I got the land plane hooked up still, I think this all right here behind me used to be trees and underbrush and all that. I left this one decently nice oak tree here and took out all the rest. There's a bunch of junk, some bamboo mixed in with it. I'm trying to get rid of all that stuff. So I've chisel plowed this and ripped all the roots out, root raked it a couple times. So I'm really trying to slick it up now, get it ready to plant some grass this springtime. So we'll go ahead and drag the land plane up and down there and really kind of slick that out. Well, I have to say, I like the land plane. I don't know if it's the best for dirt. Maybe real clean, you know, no roots, leaves, nothing like that. It does a lot better. I still think this might need to be slightly a bit drier and it would do a little bit better, but I mean, it does a fine job as is. I tell you where I think this would be a great tool would be new construction, building your house, trucks coming in and out. You're working before you start planting or laying sod, whatever. If you're gonna plant you some grass seed, drag this thing around your yard, man, it'll knock the high spots out and fill in the lows, make it a lot nicer to mow. So all in all, I really like it. It's a good tool. Get you one. I appreciate you guys stopping in. If you stuck around to the end of the video, please like and subscribe. Who knows what we'll be working on next. There's always something going on around here. Appreciate it.